gonna do a fun, crazy reading vlog. This is gonna be really intensive because we're doing a big Murder and Mayhem Readathon this month. I'm the leader of the sleuths. I really want to get my team some points. So I have a big stack of books I'm gonna pick from that are like green or nature ones so we get extra points. We're gonna spin the wheel and see what prompts I get and then pick hopefully some sleuth adjacent really good books, and I can't wait. So I'm just gonna take you along for a cozy reading vlog. This is gonna be a long vlog, but I hope you're in for it. So here we go, let's go. Okay guys, let's go ahead and spin for this vlog. What do we get? New to me author, okay. Spin again. Supernatural or paranormal cozy. Oh goodness, okay, okay. Okay, I just got the same one, so I'm gonna spin it again. Okay. Oh boy. Library book, okay, okay. I have some ideas. Okay, for the library book, I'm definitely going to do A Very Woodsy Murder by Ellen Byron because this has been on my TBR for a long time and it's due. So let's go ahead and do that one. I know for the new to me author, I'm going to do The Resurrectionist. I don't have it with me, but it's at my library on hold for me right now. And that's a big pick for extra points for the Murder and Mayhem Readathon. So I will be reading that. It's like a historical fiction mystery, I want to say. Let's see what else we're gonna read. Next book in series. This is gonna be my next book in series. I bought this specifically for this month because there's so much green and nature on it. It's Boulevard of Broken Creams. It's the third in the True Confections mystery, and I love this series. And then the one that my patrons voted on, which was for a flower on the cover prompt, was Dead Little Heart by Miranda James. Again, we have a very like greenish cover. There's flowers on it. And this is the first in the Southern Sister series. It's like a kind of adjacent series to the Cat in the Stacks mystery series. Here we go. Book I've been putting off. Okay, it's finally happening. This is an ARC I got sent last year, so it's been out for almost a year now. It's called Long Time Gone by Charlie Dunlea, and this is like a cold case mystery, maybe mystery thriller. And I've been really interested in reading this, but I've definitely been putting it off. So we have our picks so far. We have The Resurrectionist, which is like a historical fiction mystery, definitely not cozy, at the library. And then I need to pick a paranormal cozy. So paranormal, supernatural cozy, I might look at audiobooks for that. I'm gonna take a look at my like online stuff. I need another thriller or two. We could end up with, this could go over a long time. Let's see. New read, I can't wait to start. Oh, okay. I wanna do another spin in. That way we can assess. Oh goodness, this could end up with a really big stack, but I really want to get a lot of reading done for this Murder and Mayhem Readathon. Okay, I've already got this one, so I'm giving myself permission to spin again if I get like the same one a bunch. Oh, it's like hovering. Library book and main character a suspect. It's like hovering between those, which is really funny. This one is a library book, so I'm just gonna go with, I think it kind of leaned library book, but I'm gonna go with Saltwater by Caddy Hayes. This one is like a thriller. I'm really interested in it. It's got like the nice nature going on with all the grassy hills and the water, so I'm like, okay, this seems like a good option, and I've been very excited for that. So we still need to pick a new read I can't wait to start, and I'm gonna look at my audiobook selection or ebooks and see what I have going on for something supernatural or paranormal. Let's see what else we got. This could get real crazy, guys, but let's just do it. Blind book pick. Oh boy, okay. I have this stack over here that I have been, like, it's kind of my pile. So this is like my pile of possibilities for being like the sleuths team, because it's got so many books that are like green or nature covers. So I'm gonna like, you're just gonna have to believe me. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna spin around and then I'm gonna put my hand out for something and we're gonna just see. What did we get? Oh gosh, okay, I gotta open my eyes now because otherwise I'm gonna topple these books. Oh, okay, The Last Breath by Kimberly Blake or Bell. This is perfect. I think it's predominantly got like a lot of green. We got some nature going on. And I've read The Marriage Lie and I enjoyed that. Oh, this is about a humanitarian aid worker who chases disasters around the globe for a living. But her father was imprisoned for brutally killing her stepmother. Interesting. Okay, this one sounds really interesting. Okay, so we'll do that. This could just be... How far are we gonna go? I don't know. Like, I don't plan these. I just kind of just keep spinning and then I end up where I end up. Okay, so we have 3 thrillers. We have kind of like a general mystery, historical fiction, maybe kind of gothic tones, The Resurrectionist, I'm not sure, at the library. We have 3 cozies, and then I'm going to pick a cozy to listen to, I think, that has some kind of paranormal element is my goal. Do we want to do one more? Oh no, because I still have to pick one that's a book I can't wait. Did I pick one? I didn't pick a book I can't wait to read. What am I like most excited for right now? I was so kindly sent this by Kensington. This is an ARC. It's coming out in July 29th. It's the 2nd book in the Halloween Bookshop Mystery Series. Mayhem at a Halloween Wedding. This was on my most anticipated releases for the year video back in like January, or I don't know if I published it in December or January, but you get my point. I have been thinking about this book all year and they sent it to me, and when I opened the package I didn't have words. So anyways, I'm so excited. I really enjoyed book 1. It's a Halloween themed bookshop mystery. I mean, what could be better, right? So okay, that one has got to be I'm really excited for that, clearly. And these are some good. We got some like kind of thinner ones, which I think will be good for some readathon. I still want to spin one more time. I have The Resurrectionist on hold too, so I think that's a chunkier book. Let's spin one more time, because I just don't have self-control. What can I say? Oh, another blind book. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's do it from my top like shelf with the library books. I'm gonna spin around. You're not gonna see me because I'm behind the camera, but I'm gonna jump up and down, close my eyes, and we're just gonna see. We're gonna see what I touch, I guess. Here we go. Oh gosh, okay. Am I like... Okay, that's a stuffed animal. That's not... What is this? Oh, okay. This one this is a new to me author I'm really interested in. So this is The Other Mistress by Shanora Williams. I recently did a new thriller release video, I'll link it above, where I talked about an upcoming release from this author and it sounded fascinating. So then I checked out their backlist and this was on it. So this is supposed to be like a really dark, wild thriller. And I think this will fit the nature prompt because we got a really cool, like, big blue flower and, like, I don't know, smoky vapor thing going on here. Okay. Did I pick too many books? Possibly. So again, I have The Resurrectionist I need to pick up from the library. But otherwise we have how many? We have what? 4 cozies plus some kind of audiobook that I'm going to find that's cozy and supernatural, paranormal. We have maybe kind of a classic mystery thriller. We have historical fiction resurrectionist. We have 3 very much like thrillers. You guys know what I mean, but like, I think this is more mystery thriller. I think The Resurrectionist is like historical fiction mystery, maybe kind of gothic. And then we have 3 very much like classic kind of thrillers. So this is our reading stack. I'm gonna have to start with this one because it's due, like, very soon. So that's probably gonna be what I start with. But I don't know. I'm really interested in this one. I'm really excited for all of these. Okay. And this is the one that my patron picked. The Meddlers vote at least once a month on a book I'm going to read in a video, and this was it. Bless her dead little heart. They voted on that for a flower on the cover prompt. I gave them some options and this was the winner by just a smidge. It was very close. So I'm very excited for that. This will be our stack here, plus The Resurrectionist, and I will update you guys on what I find for a supernatural or paranormal coziness. Hi guys, first reading update. So for starters, I did pick out my supernatural paranormal cozy mystery. I am listening to Sprinkles and Sea Serpents by Danielle Garrett on Audible, and I'm loving it. So it follows our main character, Rosella, who's returning home to this like magical community. It's like within the United States in the Pacific Northwest, but it's like hidden in this kind of like bubble where only magical creatures or people can pass into it. And she's kind of like an elemental witch. She's got some specific things I won't go into for spoiler reasons, but there's basically been these joggers who've been disappearing and she gets involved solving it. Her family owns the Sugar Shack. This is book 1 in the series of, I think it's the Sugar Shack Witch Mysteries, and her family owns the Sugar Shack, which is a bakery. I love her family. I love the characters in this. The narrator is great for this. There is an actual sea serpent, as you would guess from the title. I'm loving this. It is so whimsical and fun. Somehow, even though it's very fantastical, it still feels more like a cozy mystery first and foremost, which is how I prefer it. But you still have this really fun element with a little bit of magic, this magical community, some magical creatures, the character having a special ability. I just love it. I'm enjoying it so much. I'm so glad that I I'm so glad that I spun onto that prompt, because I probably wouldn't have grabbed this and read it this month otherwise. This book, including some of the novellas and some of the first other books in the series, like 2 and 3, are included on Audible right now with membership, so keep that in mind if you're interested in the series. I'm really enjoying this. I think this could be a good 4.5 stars for me, and I actually only have, it's pretty short, it's about 7 hours to listen, and I have about 2 hours or so, I want to say, left, so I've listened to most of it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited to see the conclusion to the mystery. The other book I've started is A Very Woodsy Murder by Ellen Byron. This is the first in the Golden Motel mystery series. I am not super far into this at this point. I am like 30 pages in, but our main character is Dee, and she is a, what do they call it, like a screenwriter? She is a down-on-her-luck sitcom writer, and she wants to open this motel in this beautiful area. It's called it's gonna be the Golden Motel, and the town, I love the town's name. What is it? The Quaint Village of Found Gold. So this does take place in California, but this is a very small town. There's a lot of mining history, as you would imagine, and she's trying to talk her ex-husband, I should say, but they're best friends, which is kind of a fun twist on things, into being her business partner, so they can both leave the hustle and bustle of LA. I'm really excited for this. The mystery hasn't kicked off yet. I'm very early into this, but I'm really enjoying it. And then I am planning on starting The Other Mistress by Shanora Williams today as my first kind of thriller for this. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. I'm anticipating finishing the Sprinkles and Sea Servants book. I'm flying through it. It is so good. I'm hoping to make good progress on this and then start The Other Mistress, because I would like to incorporate a thriller soon, because I'm definitely a mood reader and I like different kind of flavors to pick up depending on what I'm feeling. Alright guys, taste test. I've made this recipe once before last year. The only thing I did differently is I added a little lemon juice to the batter to make it more lemony. So we're gonna see. It's so good. So the frosting is like You can see there's like little bumps of butter in it. It's not perfectly whipped, but it doesn't affect the taste, so I'm happy. The cookies are good, but the raspberry buttercream, that's what makes it. So thank you guys for hanging out with me as I make that. I'm gonna go do some more reading tonight. Just chill and have a good evening. Hi friends! So I have a huge reading update, and I also have a library book haul that I want to share with you guys. So we're gonna start with the reading update. So we're having a little roughness. So I recently did a Sleuth's Murder and Mayhem reading sprint night on my channel, and if you guys were on that, you would probably remember me mentioning I DNF'd this. This is Saltwater by Katie Hayes. I only got 32 pages in. So that is, for me at least, a very quick DNF. Now I am being a little extra aggressive with DNFs this month just because I really want to get points for my team. You guys know, but what I will say about this is I read 30 some pages in. There's multiple points of views and they're labeled by character. I had no idea who I was reading from. Like, I had no idea who any of these people were by 30 pages. I was like, who am I reading from? I had to keep flipping back to the beginning of the chapter to be reminded of who I was reading from. I couldn't keep it straight no matter what. I kept reading the synopsis over and over again to try to remember the connection to who I was reading from to the plot. There just wasn't much setup, so it felt like I just was kind of dropped into the story. I had no idea what was going on, but it wasn't fun. You know, like sometimes that can be fun if it's handled in a way, but this wasn't. So I just DNF'd this. It wasn't for me. I would definitely look into something else by this author. I don't think it was like specifically this author's writing. Maybe just this plot wasn't for me. I'm not sure. Otherwise, I did finish a different thriller. And then on audio, I have Peaches and Scream right now. I'm going to put the cover on screen. This wasn't one that we rolled for on the Spin the Wheel, but I am just listening to an audiobook because I can. Really fun. I love it, and it's read by Tiffany Morgan, who does a lot of the Tonya Kappa's narrations for those Cozy Mystery series, and I just love her southern accent. Oh, so relaxing. But I'm about halfway through that book right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I like Nola. I think she's a very determined character. She's trying to save her family's like peach orchard, because it's just losing business, so she's trying to reinvent the place while her parents are on a vacation, and she's got a lot of heart. I like her. I really like the narration. I'm enjoying learning about preserving and just kind of the Georgia, the peaches, and what they use them for. I love it. So that's just a side note. Then I finished The Other Mistress by Shanora Williams. Now, this wasn't a hit for me. I did finish it. But I'm gonna say, if I'm being completely honest, the only reason I finished this was because I only had 50 pages left. I wanted to DNF it, but I wanted the points for my team, and I only had 50 pages. And this is like a fast-flying thriller book, so I was like, okay, let's just, finish it. The ending at first kind of was like giving me hope. I was like, okay, wait, maybe. And then it went with this trope that I really don't care for, personally. I really don't care for it. I can't go into it without spoilers, but it's not a trope I love. But my primary issue with this is that we're following this woman named Adira, and she is married to this like man of her dreams. She's so excited. She's got this successful business. She's got a gorgeous home. Like, she's got it all, right? Like, she's really doing well in life, until she finds out her husband Gabriel is cheating on her with not one but two women. And he's cheating on her with Jocelyn and Juliana. They're both very different women. You are reading from multiple perspectives throughout this. There are some like kind of flashbacks to past events that you're kind of going through. A little bit of mixed media. I will say the flashbacks to the past were dark. I mean, wow. I mean, in general, I think looking up trigger warnings for thrillers, especially if you have anything in particular that would bother you to read about, is good, but just keep in mind the trigger warnings do have something to do with kids. So keep that in mind. Maybe look it up if you are interested in that. What I will say is the writing style for this was very bingeable. I liked the way characters were described. I felt like I could picture everything really well. I felt the pacing was excellent. I just really didn't care for this particular plot twist. So this actually, even though I'm giving this like 2 stars, which I know isn't a great rating, I actually am really optimistic that I'm going to enjoy other books by this author, because I really enjoyed the writing style. So I feel like maybe this particular plot line and like trope and twist wasn't for me, but I feel like, for other books are different, presumably, I'll enjoy those. So I hope that makes sense. So even though this wasn't like exciting and the ending kind of gave me a headache and made me want to just go, oh no, not this type of ending, not this. At the end of the day, I actually am really optimistic about this author's writing and me connecting in the future. If you have any recommendations from this author, I would love to hear it. I know they have a book coming out this year. I talked about my thriller release video that I'm really interested in, so I'll link that above if you're curious. But yeah, so even though this is like not a positive review of this particular book, I'm actually really excited about this author in general. I hope I explained that in some way that made sense. Alright, and then what I'm reading right now, I have in the other room is Mayhem at a Halloween Wedding by Emily Duncan. I'm only like 40 pages into that. So far it's so good. I think it's pronounced Elian Hollow, which is like a Halloween themed town in Oregon. I love the setting. I love Jack Skellington, her dog. I love it. So there's so many great little aspects. Very like seasonal read. I'm enjoying it so much so far. The other book I'm currently reading physically is Long Time Gone by Charlie Donlea. And this is like I'd say like a classic kind of mystery book. This did come out last year. It was an ARC that I was very kindly sent, and I'm only reading it like almost a year later. So I'm really sorry to the publishers. I very much appreciate it, but I didn't get to it in a timely manner. However, I really am enjoying this so much. So if you're interested in genealogy and cold cases, this is something I think you'd really enjoy. Our main character is Sloane, and I'm gonna read this like little short synopsis. This is when DNA results reveal a disturbing connection to the mysterious disappearance of a famous baby nearly 3 decades ago. A woman's search for answers draws her to an ominous small town in Nevada in a dangerous web of corruption, power, and lies. I'm really excited. Like, I'm feeling good about this. Like I said, I'm 62 pages in, and the book is it's 344 pages. So I'm really enjoying this. It's going by really quickly. I'm feeling like the mystery is heating up. I'm really interested in all the genealogy research. So this one I'm feeling really good about. I'm feeling really good about the Mayhem at a Halloween Wedding by Emily Duncan. I mean, that is the second in a series I really enjoyed last year. So I was fairly optimistic about that. So that is my plan there. And speaking of the TBR, so I actually, as part of my library book haul, I did pick up The Resurrectionist by A. Ray Dunlap. So this one was a victim's favorite for our readathon, which is one of the booktubers who's helping like participate in the Murder and Mayhem Readathon. They recommend a specific book. You can get extra points if you read it. A lot of them so far have been like romance novels, which I'm just not going to read personally. But this one sounded really good. And so my library did have it. I put it on hold. I just picked it up. This is kind of like a dark academia historical fiction mystery. I don't think it's cozy, but I think it's just very much like a mystery. I don't think it's a thriller. I think it's just right in the middle of mystery. And it's actually about body snatchers. So this takes place in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1828. A young medical student lured into the illicit underworld of body snatching. So it's supposed to combine historical fiction, true crime, and a little bit of romance in a harrowing tale of murder, greed, and the grisly origins of modern medicine. Now, I've actually listened to some true crime cases about body snatchers, and I found it to be fascinating because it's both horrifying but also makes sense, but it's just like this, you know, horrible taboo. So I'm really interested in this. I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go. I think this is a very interesting book. I probably wouldn't have grabbed it on my own, but I'm very excited for. This first one you guys have recommended to me. I also talked about it in an anticipated thriller release video. It was released this year. It's called The Business Trip by Jessie Garcia. Which, too bad this isn't green because this would make a good sleuth cover otherwise. So the premise for this is really fun. Our main characters are Stephanie and Jasmine. They don't know each other. One of them is fleeing an abusive relationship. One of them is on a business trip. They're both on the same flight. However, when they're on the plane, their messages start to become more erratic, and they start to text their friends about this man named Trent. And then they're both declared missing. And now their friends are trying to put together who is Trent, how do these women know each other, or like what was their connection. I'm really curious about this. It sounds like it's going to be a real fun like page-turner type thriller, so I'm really excited to read this. Then I picked up the new Molly Murphy mystery series released by Rhys Bowen and Claire Broyles. This is a Molly Murphy mystery, Silent as the Grave. I think this is like book 20 or something in the series by now. There's a lot of books. But I know this one involves Easter break, and our main character, Molly Murphy, who's an Irish-American immigrant, she's now, this is, you know, far into the series, she's well settled, she's married, she has children, and she's on a trip and invited onto this like Hollywood set, like a movie set, and one of her older daughters is really fascinated and actually becomes a part of the set, and then accidents start to happen on the set and she gets involved to try to protect her daughter. I'm really excited for this. I think Molly's a great character. My favorite series by this author will always be her Royal Spinus series, but I really do enjoy the Molly Murphy series. They take place in the early 1900s, and I think they're really fun. Ooh, another new thriller release that I'm so excited for is I Would Die For You by Sandy Jones. And this is the cover here. We've got a great nature scene, so if I decide to read this month, beautiful nature scene. So this one involves two timelines. So we have London in the 80s, and we have our main character Cassie, who's obsessed with the leader of this band. It's supposed to be a lot about kind of the obsession of fandoms and 80s music, and she's obsessed with the leader Ben, but she's just absolutely devastated because he becomes interested, it sounds like, in her older sister Nicole, which is going to tear their family apart. Then fast forward to California in 2011, and we have our character Nicole, who is with her family. Like, they're living on the coast near where the band had disappeared, I guess, in the 80s, and she never expected a writer to knock on their door asking questions about that time. I'm really excited about this. I feel that Sandy Jones, she's never been a 5-star writer for me, but I always have a really good time. Like, she's one of those bingeable writers. Like, if I'm in a slump or I want something to read quick and just have a good sit down and read it in one day kind of a feeling, this is a writer I go to, so I'm really excited for this. Then I picked up The Library Game by Gigi Pandian. This is a Secret Staircase mystery series. I believe this is book 4 in the series, which I'm caught up on. And I love this series. Our main character in this is Tempest. She's a retired show magician from Las Vegas, so there's lots of magic worked into the series, which is really cool. A lot of interesting history. There's like a supposed curse on her family, which you learn about throughout the series, and it's very interesting. But she's gone back home in the first book, and she's helping her family with their secret staircase business, where they build interesting rooms, like secret staircases, bookcases with rooms hidden behind them. Like, think of a Scooby-Doo mansion. That's basically what this reminds me of, and I love it. And in this one, her and her family are excited because their business is getting more recognition, and they're actually hired to renovate a public library and to do like a detective murder mystery themed room. And then the director is like, we're gonna do a murder mystery dinner here one night, and of course one of the actors ends up dead. So many tropes I love. I love a murder mystery dinner and a cozy mystery like this. It's so fun. So I'm so excited for this, and Gigi Pandian is an amazing writer. I actually have some of her other series on my to start list this year because she does have a few others, and I'm really excited. Thank you so much for hanging out with this reading wrap up and library book haul. I'll give you an update in a little bit when I've read some more. Hello beautiful friends. I'm so excited to be doing a reading update and a little get ready with me today. So I have a ton of reading updates as well as a change to my TBR for this vlog, just because I am a mood reader, so I try to respect that as much as I love making TBRs. So let's go ahead. I have reading updates on 4 different books and then a thriller that I ended up switching out for The Resurrectionist. So I am really excited to read The Resurrectionist. This is a victim's favorite for the Murder and Mayhem Readathon, so you get extra points. I am still planning on reading this month, but I was really in the mood for a thriller, and I've had really bad time with thrillers this month. Like, just overall hasn't been great. So when I saw this was a new victim's favorite, I was like, you know what, let's give this a try. This is called Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. It's about these siblings who come back after their mother's death, and they start to discover some dark secrets from their parents' past. But let's go ahead and start with the 3 books that I have finished, and then I'll give you an update on Home is Where the Bodies Are and Boulevard of Broken Creams, which are the 2 books I'm currently in the middle of. I still need to read Dead Little Hearts by Miranda James. I plan on starting that tonight. But let's go ahead and start with Long Time Gone by Charlie Donlea. I think I already gave you an update on this one. So I did finish this one, and wow. So Long Time Gone by Charlie Donlea. This is intense. So it is definitely a slow burn. I would say more mystery than thriller, definitely. So basically we're following this woman, Sloane, who's doing a genealogy project. She's like a forensic, she's studying to be like a forensic genealogist. Super interesting, lots of genealogy information. I'm giving this 5 stars. I was blown away by the ending. It was so intense. It was really, really good. I was absolutely on the edge of my seat, didn't see some of the twists and turns coming. There was just moments where I just was sitting there like, wow. So I definitely recommend this. I think it's a good, more slow burn mystery. I wouldn't say it's a thriller personally, but it just had this amazing character, Sloane. I was really fascinated with her and her story. I wanted to know what happened to baby Charlotte. I wanted to know the details around that, and so she goes back to the town where baby Charlotte disappeared. So fascinating. You're getting to read some points of views from the past, from like the sheriff at the time, which was really fascinating. I thought this was such a great, very character-driven mystery. Again, a little more slow burn, but I had no issue really getting through this at a pretty quick rate. Like once I got into it, I was flying through this. I just had to know who did it, and I was really pleased with this. My only regret is that it took me a year to get to this. I don't know if sometimes I'm just like, why did it take me so long to read this? So this I would really recommend if you like a solid mystery, not cozy, not really leaning towards thriller, but just a mystery, a cold case mystery, genealogy heavy. This was fascinating. Lots of small town antics and drama and secrets being hidden because of the small townness, and I just was so fascinated with this mystery. I would really recommend this, and I'm definitely going to be looking more into books from this author. Then I finished Mayhem at the Halloween Wedding by Emmeline Duncan, which was an ARC so kindly sent to me by Kensington. This book is on sale July 29th, and it is the second book in the Halloween Bookshop mystery series, which was called Chaos at the Lazy Bones Bookstore, I believe, and I read that last year and really enjoyed it. So I had the same kind of a small critique. I'm going to start with my rating. I would say 3.5 stars. My only critique with this series, and I had this with the first book too, is that I just don't feel connected to the main character. Her name is Bailey. She's a really nice character. She runs this Halloween-themed bookshop in a town known for its Halloween-themed everything. That's like their tourist kind of gimmick. And I love the setting. I love the theme. I love her dog named Jack Skellington. I love the small town Oregon feels. I love everything about this. I just don't know what it is, but I struggle to connect with the main character, and I kind of felt that way in the first book. I think the plot was solid. I think the setting was amazing. I think there's lots of great cozy vibes. I mean, the main character, not only you get to do like the bookish vibe, she's got like a book subscription box. She has someone in her life who's an author, so you get lots of bits from that. I really like the other characters, but I just have a hard time with connecting with Bailey. I don't think she's a bad character or anything. I just kind of want to connect with her a little more than I am. However, with that said, I still really enjoyed this. I thought the mystery was really excellent for this, and I am still looking forward to continuing this series. You really can't beat a Halloween town if you're looking for spooky fall Halloween vibes. I would still say give this series a chance. That's just my only critique with it. I still plan on continuing the series, and hopefully I'll continue to warm up to the main character. I'm going to pause for a minute while I do my eyeliner because I feel like it could go really badly if I keep talking and waving my eyeliner around. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, especially considering I'm distracted while doing this. Okay, so yeah, final thoughts on this. 3.5 stars. I plan on continuing the series. If it sounds interesting, I would give it a go. I mean, the Halloween town setting and the fact that this had a Halloween wedding, amazing. So there's all these bridal party events leading up to the wedding that are Halloween themed as well. Like there was a bridal tea, which was really cool. So I loved that. I loved her friend Raven, who was getting married. I thought she was really cool. And like, I mean, she wanted to do a Halloween bridal gown and everything. So I mean, she's my kind of person. I think that's so awesome. And I mean, the covers for this series, top notch, gorgeous. So yeah, I would say overall really good read. I still really enjoyed this. I don't know, there's just something a little bit with the main character I want to connect on with her more, but I still very much plan on continuing this series and would still recommend it if it sounds interesting. If you like bookish series, some dogs in your cozies, if you like the Halloween or fall themes, I mean, this whole series is Halloween, so this is just I mean, I'm gonna be recommending this around the holidays because it's too good. It's too good. Okay, so I also read The Last Breath by Kimberly Bell. I read this in one morning. I didn't even stop to give you guys an update. I'm sorry. So I have a hard time with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna say this one was about 350 or so pages. And this one is it's described as a gripping domestic thriller about a woman who risks her life to discover the truth about her family. Now, the second part, woman risks her life to discover the truth about her family, yes. Domestic thriller, I mean, maybe technically, I mean, there was like a bit of like psychological danger, I guess, but for me, this was much more mystery or very slow burn thriller. And I wasn't thrilled with the ending. I was actually having a better time until I hit the ending, and then I was like, oh. I feel like the ending just fell flat for me. I'm gonna give this, I think 3 stars. I don't regret reading it, but so far Kimberly Bell and I have had kind of 3-ish star ratings. I read The Marriage Lie from her and then this book, The Last Breath, and both times I liked The Marriage Lie I think a little bit better. I was actually enjoying The Last Breath more up until the ending than I was enjoying Marriage Lies. I think I gave The Marriage Lie like 3.5 stars. This one I think I'm going to give 3 stars. I don't regret reading it, but it's not going to make like recommendation videos for me because as much as I loved our main character Gia, she's a humanitarian aid worker, and her career path was kind of spurred on because as a teenager her father was arrested because he was found to be like a murderer. So no small thing, he was taken away. She has never spoken to him since, but she's returned home and she's the only one out of 3 siblings who have returned home to take care of him because he's in hospice care for cancer. So he's dying. The prison decides, I didn't know they did this. I guess I gotta look it up, I'm not sure. But sometimes they let prisoners home for like the last few weeks, I guess, of their life if they're dying like in hospice care kind of situation because they're not, you know, in a condition to harm anybody, and I don't know, maybe just so the family can have time with them to say goodbyes. So he's sent home and he's being cared for by Gia. The other 2 siblings are really mostly out of the picture. She's constantly trying to drag them there to like spend time with the father. You know what, actually I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. The more I think about it, I was flying through it. The pacing was great. The plot itself, like the general idea behind it, amazing. But this was so romance heavy. It really, I mean, there were so many graphic romantic scenes in this, and I know it's a thriller. I'm not expecting it to be PG, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'll just, you know, skim and get to the end of the scene, move on with my life, because I don't personally like to read that sort of thing. But there were so many romantic scenes. This seems like a huge focus on this romance that she was building while she was in town, and all the drama around the relationship. I was just getting really sick of it, and I feel like it detracted from the mystery plot itself. And then the actual kind of like reveal at the end, I just felt really underwhelmed. And it's not even that I dislike what the reveal was, I just feel like the way it was presented was really underwhelming. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, and this is what happened, and I was like, okay, like I was expecting a little more like panache. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. It's not one I would personally recommend. I do have Dear Wife by Kimberly Bell on my physical TBR card that I got used, so I am planning on reading this. It sounds really, really interesting. And I did like The Marriage Lie, and I feel like there's potential for me to find like a really like knockout Kimberly Bell that I love. So that's why I'm continuing to try some more books from her. Let me know if you have a favorite, but just at this point I haven't found my knockout one. Like, I can feel it, like I feel like it's there. Next up, I am currently in the middle of Boulevard Broken Creams by Sarah Fox. This is the 3rd in the True Confections mystery. I couldn't resist this one for the sleuths with all the nature on this, and I've been dying to read this. I'm currently on page 67. It's a pretty short book, it's 254 pages, so that is, and also I have to show you, my friend Sonia got me, look at this bookmark. Isn't that beautiful? I love Ariel and she's reading a book. I have the most kind friends ever. Anyways, we have our main character, Becca, and she is a former actress turned chocolatier. She works at her grandparents'. Her grandparents are mostly retired. She works at their chocolatier shop, and it's really amazing. I love all the chocolate details, but her former actress days are kind of coming back to her because they're filming a movie in Larch Haven, Vermont, which is like the Venice of North America. They have gondolas throughout the street. It is such a cool, it's like one of the coolest small towns in a cozy I've read in a long time. So I love that. And then, yeah, so basically there's a movie production. She's going to be playing like a smaller supporting role in that. So we're having a little bit less of the chocolate, a little more focus of being like on the movie set, which is fine. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's fun. I think the mystery gets kicked off pretty quickly. It's interesting meeting some of her co-workers from the past, like people she's worked on previous like movie or TV productions with, and I'm just really enjoying it. It's just a fun setup. I love, the setting has got to be where the series shines. I mean, Larch Haven, Vermont is just so idyllic. The chocolatier elements, and then we have 2 adorable cats that she has. So yeah, so far it's so good. I mean, I feel like maybe 4 stars is kind of what I'm leaning towards so far. I've enjoyed the other books in the series. It's definitely a favorite series of mine. I'm really hoping it's going to continue because I think this book came out last year, and I don't know if I've heard anything about a next release. Hopefully more will be coming out soon. And then Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. So I have been flying through this. This thriller feels like, as long as the ending is solid, I feel like this could be like a good favorite and a more redeeming thriller, because I don't know what it is this month, but I've just had some like so-so thrillers, or books that I thought were thrillers but they were really mysteries, which is fine. I still love mysteries, but I was just a little let down that they weren't a thriller like they were maybe advertised. I'm currently on page 162 and there's about 100 pages left. So Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. I love the cover for this. So much fun. So, like I said, we have 3 siblings who are basically coming back because their mother has passed away. The eldest sibling, Beth, has been by her mother's side for the last few weeks to months, and she's been in her mother's life very actively, whereas the other 2 really haven't been. The middle sister is addicted to drugs. She's been having a horrible time of it, unfortunately, so she hasn't been very present. And then the brother is very financially successful, very career-driven, but it's kind of just left the small town, never to come back very much, not very involved with the family. So the 3 of them are finally back together after many years because of their mother's passing, and they're going through their parents' things when they find a VHS tape. And this VHS tape has something that will rock their world and potentially lead to answers about why their dad left years earlier. Like, he just left with a note. No one's ever heard from him or seen from him again. So I am very intrigued by this. You are reading different perspectives, both from the present timeline with the different siblings and then some like entries from a mother's journal, kind of leading up to some of the events you're learning about through the VHS tape and maybe related to the father's disappearance. I'm fascinated by this right now. I have read one Geneva Rose book before. I can never remember. I think it's You Shouldn't Have Come Here. I'll pop it on screen because I always get the title confused. And I liked it, but it read very much like a romance for the first chunk of it, and it felt very slow burn to me, although the ending definitely paid off. So since I'm enjoying this one much more like during the reading process, I'm really hoping, as long as the ending pays off for this, this could be like a good 4 or 5 star read for me, which would be great. Because like I said, this month with thrillers has been an absolute... It's been rough. Honestly, some of the only reasons I've been finishing some of the thrillers I've been reading is so that I can get points for my team. I love you guys, I really do, because there were a few that I was like, I would not have finished this otherwise, but I'm really enjoying Home is Where the Bodies Are. So I will be reading The Resurrectionist at some point this month, but for the sake of ending this vlog so that I can actually get it up this week, I'm going to push that off for later. So stay tuned for my reading wrap up. I will have that, and then I am going to start tonight my last cozy for this vlog, which is Dead Little Heart by Miranda James, which I'm very excited for. And then hopefully also finish Boulevard of Broken Creams. So I have 3 books that we will be finishing up for this vlog, 2 that I'm a good chunk of the way into, and then Dead Little Heart here. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm just going to throw some mascara on and some lipstick, and I think this makeup look is done. I gotta check in the mirror because I feel like when I'm doing my makeup in front of the camera, I always like miss a spot or something. Honestly, I was planning on taking my hair down, but it is so warm today that I'm like, do I have to? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm just putting on this L'Oreal lipstick. It's in the shade Raspberry Rush, which I think is a little more cool toned than I want for this because there's like peach on the outfit. So I'm going to put this kind of peachy lip gloss on top of it. That's the plan. Alright, I think that look turned out pretty cute. I actually like I think my hair up. I'm going to leave it up. It's just too hot. I'm going to throw some earrings on because I feel like a little naked sometimes without... Do you guys feel naked without earrings? I wear them nearly every day, so when I don't wear earrings it feels weird. But that is the final look. Thank you guys for listening to this very long reading update. I will give you some more updates today on how these are going. I very much anticipate finishing this book, if nothing else, because I'm dying to know how it ends. And then I'm loving Boulevard of Broken Creams and excited for Dead Little Hearts. So definitely will get some more reading progress done today. I'm also going to try a new recipe. I found this recipe for a burrito bowl, and I feel like maybe you don't necessarily need a recipe, but I want to like make like this avocado cilantro like kind of dressing for the top of it, and I have like ground beef, beans, corn, bell pepper, some lettuce, like all that. I think this is going to be really good. I think it'll be a pretty quick, easy, minimal heat recipe for like spring and summer, because we're getting to that point of the year where I'm like, do I have to turn the oven on because it's just so warm? Yeah, so we're going to try that, and all that needs to be cooked I think is the ground beef. Everything else is just like chop it, throw it together and then food process the sauce. So we're gonna make that later and just have a cozy day together. So let's go. I have made some good progress in Dead Little Heart by Miranda James. So I'm currently on page 111. There's close to 290 pages, so I'm getting close to the halfway part of this, and I love this. So we have two Southern ladies who are excellent with their Southern hospitality. We have Miss Angel and Miss Dixie, and they are sisters, and they have a friend of theirs show up at their door unexpected, and this person is convinced that their family is out to get them. And they're also pet sitting Diesel, who is the cat from the Cat in the Stacks mystery series, which I really love because I love Diesel. So if you enjoy the Cat in the Stacks mystery series, you might want to check this one out. I had no idea it existed until, I don't know, like a month or two ago, and then I was like, oh, I need to read this. So this one has been really, really lovely. I'm enjoying it. The plot is fast-paced. I like both Miss Angel and Dixie. I think they're both really fun characters. I like seeing them hold their Southern charm and hospitality even when they're dealing with the very difficult family of their friend who shows up also unannounced and demands to be given room and board, which is really strange to me, but I don't know, I guess that's Southern hospitality. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this. Miranda James just has such great writing. I feel like his writing is very detailed. I can picture everything really well, but it's not so detailed that it bogs the plot down, and the pacing is great. So I am really enjoying this. I also wanted to share with you guys, I picked up a couple of books. 2 books from my library, and then I was sent one from, I think it's Kensington? Yes, from Kensington that I wanted to show you. So the 2 I picked up from the library are actually from the same author. And this is Ashley Flowers, and she is, I'm gonna get the exact, she is known for being a host, I think, and producer of the top-rated podcast Crime Junkie, which I've never listened to. But I came across her new release this year, and then someone was telling me about her last release and saying it was really good. This is called All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. So this takes place in small town Indiana, and there is this infamous cold case where someone was found missing from their family home. I'm guessing maybe a teenager or young adult. They were found in a ditch deceased, unfortunately, but this cold case was never solved. Our main character grows up always having this very strong memory of this case never being solved in her childhood. She grows up, she becomes a big journalist, and she comes back to take care of a family member, and then she starts to feel the pull to really dig into it herself now that she's an investigative journalist. I love this type of like small town drama, cold case, like we're bringing to the future and solving it and getting justice. Like I love these tropes. And then her new release that just came out, I want to say it just came out this month actually, is called The Missing Half. I love the cover. I think it's really pretty. And this one again has some, you guys can tell I really like the kind of cold case, solving something from the past, mysterious disappearance. This says 2 women haunted by their sisters' unsolved disappearances band together in this captivating mystery. So basically there are 2 young women who disappeared and their 2 sisters are bonding together as adults to try to figure out what happened to their sisters. I love this. I love the sister connection. I love banding together, trying to maybe link these cold cases. It sounds like their disappearances were kind of similar and around the same time, which is why they think they might be linked. So I'm really excited for this one. I'm not sure which one I'm actually going to start with. I don't know. I'm really excited for both of these, so I'm not actually sure which one I'm going to start with. And then the book that I was really kindly sent, this one is going to be on sale July 29th of this year. It's called Only the Dead Within by Lisa Childs. I have not read anything by this author, but the premise, again, you're gonna notice I have a type here with like mysteries and thrillers. It says mysterious missing person cases, unsolved murders, and a bloodthirsty gravedigger's ghost haunt the town of Gold Creek, Michigan. Behind it all may be the wealthy, ruthless Gold family who run the local funeral home and cemetery. It says horror-tinged novel. I'm a little nervous. I do occasionally read thrillers that are like a little bit of leaning into the horror genre, but not too much, so we'll see. But I am very, very excited to read this, so thank you, Kensington, for sending this my way. I'm so excited. What a cool cover. I love this like kind of gradient here on the cover and the font. I think it's so beautiful. So I'm really excited. I am planning on doing an ARC reading vlog in June. I have quite a few ARCs between some that I have had sent to me and then NetGalley, so I am planning on definitely doing an ARC reading vlog because I need to catch up. Alright guys, that's everything from me. I am going to do some more reading with Dead Little Heart, and I will give you guys an update when I finish it. Thank you guys. Hi guys, I'm going to give the final update for this vlog on Bless Your Dead Little Heart. I have a really bad headache, so I'm just not going to go on camera right now, but I finished this book and it was amazing. I'm so excited. This is another Miranda James series. I will definitely be continuing. The Southern Ladies... Is it the Southern? It's the Southern Ladies Mystery. I keep wanting to call it the Southern Sisters because it's Angel and Dixie are the main sisters. I want to say they are like retiree age, I want to say. And they both are super classy, very like old school mannered, very hospitable. And these guests arrive at their home with one of their old sorority sisters, Rosabelle, and all this drama ensues. And it was just so good. I just love Miranda James writing. And then there's also a story of how they end up with these 2 on the cover here, because they are pet sitting Diesel, who is from the Cat and Stacks mystery. But as you can see based on this cover, they might end up with some of their own by the end, which was really sweet and I loved it. And there's some really great characters. I loved the ending for this. I was pretty surprised by the ending. I called a little bit of it, but most of the mystery really surprised me, and I just loved the writing style and the southern hospitality and the southern charm. This was lovely. I feel like this would be wonderful on audio as well if that's your preferred listening method, but this was just so sweet. I can't wait. I'm gonna see if my library has more of these books or figure out how I can get a hold of more of them because I really enjoyed this. So thank you guys for hanging out with this vlog. This kind of turned into more of a kind of like a almost over the course of 3 weeks vlog because I definitely was reading other books that I wasn't talking about in camera. So this was a very long vlog, but hopefully you guys enjoyed a sneak peek of most of my month participating in the Murder and Mayhem Readathon, and this was just such a good read. I really, really enjoyed it. So there we go.